30, your 30-day journal of creating the best life possible for yourself. You can just watch this video, or if you want to sign up for the whole series for free and get the companion bonus worksheets, check the link in the description below. All right, today is day 1 of 30, and we're going to learn how to get inspired.
It's hard changing your life. It was hard when just over 3 years ago, in the Penobscot building in Detroit, Michigan, where I was operating my business, and I fell on some hard times, and I was sleeping in my office. It was hard coming into the lobby, and the security said, "Excuse me, Mr. Brown, can we see you for a moment?" And I said, "Yes," and I walked up to the counter, and he gave me an envelope. And he said, "Would you mind reading it here?" And I opened the envelope, and the envelope was from management that said, "This is an office tower. It's not a hotel. Please do not sleep in your office." And I said, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "I just work long hours in creating my business. I'm an entrepreneur. And right now things are bad for me, but they're not going to be this way always. And I just asked for the opportunity to continue to operate like I'm doing. I'm not trying to make this my home." And it was hard coming through the lobby. And sometimes they would laugh. There's a guy talking about becoming successful. And look at him. He's bathing in the bathroom upstairs on the 21st floor. He sleeps on the floor. Him and 2 other dreamers up there. Look at him. It was hard, ladies and gentlemen, coming to speak to people. And I was facing financial difficulties in my own life. I was behind on my bills and my dreams, and I'm saying to them, you can live your dream. It was hard, ladies and gentlemen. It was very difficult to pick myself up each day believing that I could do it. There were times that I doubted myself. I said, "God, why is this happening to me? I'm just trying to take care of my children and my mother. I'm not trying to steal or rob from anybody. Why did this have to happen to me?" It was very hard. And here's what I want to say to you. For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. No one could have convinced me by holding on, by continuing to push forward, by continuing to run toward my dream, that one day I would have my own talk show. It's a long shot, ladies and gentlemen, from Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor, never knowing my mother or father. It's a long shot. Being here with you today in this dome in Atlanta, it's a long shot. No college training, labeled educable, mentally retarded, but I kept running toward my dream. Don't stop. Don't stop. Stop running toward your dream.
Second insight, if you want to be more inspired, nature. One of my favorite protocols is the daily nature walk. I love walking in the woods. I often listen to audiobooks in the woods. I call it reading while walking. Reading while walking. So I go to this place. It's sort of my creative forest. There's not a lot of people in there, and I walk for 1 hour. I breathe in the air. I look at the lush scenery. I listen to a different audiobook. It's almost like a walking meditation as well. Sometimes I don't listen to an audiobook, and I just walk, and I touch the earth. It's almost like I'm thanking the earth, connecting with the soil. Yes, I'm wearing shoes. I don't want to get too esoteric here, but there's a lot of really good research saying if you want to boost your immune system, you want to boost your happiness, you want to release serotonin and dopamine, you want to release the fear hormone called cortisol, walk in nature. And so when I walk, I connect with nature. And like I say, I know I'm not being very elegant in this mastery session. I'm just being real, but I listen to audiobooks, and then other times I do a walking meditation where I feel my feet on the soil. You know what I do other times? If there's something I'm confused about, I sort of just talk it out. It's like I'm talking out loud, trying to work it out. If I'm in pain, I get the negative energy out of my system by just releasing it, by talking about it. I also, and I know this sounds a little unorthodox, but I do like a walking blessing meditation. So while I'm walking, I sort of challenge myself to come up with 50 things I'm grateful for. And again, I verbalize those because it's only me and the squirrels in the woods. And so I say, I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for work that feeds my soul. I'm grateful for the sunset I watched last night. I'm grateful for my team. I'm grateful for my business. I'm grateful for the travels that I get to take. I'm grateful for the people that I've served. And literally while I'm walking, I say out loud, I am grateful for. I hope it doesn't sound strange for you because it's an incredible protocol to install.
You're 47. What is the likelihood that you personally will go to Mars?
70%. We've recently made a number of breakthroughs that I'm just really fired up about.
And when does that happen? In our lifetimes?
Yeah. I'm talking about moving there. So it's like, so if you can get the price per ticket maybe around $200,000.
This could be an escape hatch for rich people.
No, your probability of dying on Mars is much higher than Earth. Really, the app of going to Mars would be like Shackleton's app of going to the Antarctic. It's going to be hard. There's a good chance of death. Going in a little can through deep space. You might land successfully. Once you land successfully, there will be you'll be working nonstop to build the base. So you're not much time for leisure. And once you get there, even after doing all this, there's a very harsh environment, so there's a good chance you die there. We think you can come back, but we're not sure. Now, does that sound like an escape hatch for rich people?
And yet you would unhesitatingly go.
You know, there's lots of people that climb mountains. You know why they climb mountains? Because people die on Mount Everest all the time. They like doing it for the challenge.
You will not quit in the universe. You will keep going in your business. You may lose, but you will not stop. You will not quit. You will keep going. I also told my wife, this disease will not defeat us. This disease will not break us. It will make us better. And everybody that knows my family knows that we took a chronic illness and we took our family to a whole other level. We took a chronic illness and we took our marriage to another level. We took a chronic illness and we beat it. And we will continue to beat it until we destroy it, until we annihilate it, until she no longer has it. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You cannot stop. You cannot quit. I remember we came home from the hospital. The doctor gave her a long needle like that. I said, how long does she have to do it? She said she has to do it every day. I said, okay, every day for how long? She said, every day for the rest of her life. I said, I will not accept that. There are things in your life that you are accepting because somebody told you have to accept it. I don't care if you're a doctor or not. I will not accept that. We will not shoot her we will not give her a shot with that needle every single day for the rest of her life. 3 months later, I got a call that says that now it's a little shorter and you only have to do it 3 times a week as opposed to every day. And guess what I told him? I'm grateful, but I still won't accept that. You would think that because it's only 3, I would be excited. I will not accept it. Stop accepting everything. Stop letting people tell you what you can and cannot do. I will not accept it. I don't care if you're a doctor. I will not accept it. And we kept doing our homework and we found out about a pill that you can take. I was like, that's what we need. We need the pill. And I found out the pill shrinks the lesions on your brain. I went to the doctor. She said, I would have told you about it, but I don't think your insurance company is going to be willing to pay for it. It's $10,000 a month, $120,000 a year. Insurance company denied. My wife went back the second time they denied. I told my wife, stop begging. I'm 120. Do I give you $10,000 a month or do I give you $120,000 now to get it for the year? I will not let my wife, whatever it takes, I will not let her take I will give 120. I will speak more. I will get better. I will get degrees. I will get training. I'll do whatever it takes. I will put your health first, and you will not be defeated. You will not be destroyed. You will not use a cane. You will not be in a wheelchair. We will beat this. Some of you in this room, you are not able to activate your greatness because every time a trial or a tribulation comes, you fold. You give up. Every time somebody calls you and tells you you can't do it, you take it personal. Every time somebody tells you you don't have what it takes, you embrace it. And now you got to stand up to it. And I never been one time with my wife. I never felt discouraged. I never felt that it wasn't possible. And my wife told me just a couple days ago, she says, today I feel like I felt before I got MS. She had a weekend where she felt great, and I told her, it's for a weekend today, but soon it will be for the rest of your life. We will not break. We will not retreat. We will not give up. We will activate our greatness, and we will know what it's like to live the 120. Say, I will live the 120. Come on. I will live the 120. Come on. I will live the 120. Come on. I will live the 120. And if you make up in your mind you're going to live the 120, I went from being homeless, eating out of trash cans, to traveling first class. $100,000 in engagement. Back at home, every star, NBA, NFL, whatever, I consult them. I went from being a high school dropout. Why? Because I said I'm going to get 120. I need you guys to get 124.
When I got to Dallas, I was a bartender at night, and I moved in. One of my buddies from Indiana said, you got to come to Dallas. And I'm like, I'm there. You know, my car would only get so far. I had a Fiat X19 with a hole in the floorboard that guzzled oil every 60 miles. And I went down there, and there's a place called The Village. It's was the world's largest apartment complex. We had 6 guys in a 3-bedroom apartment. I didn't have my own room. I didn't have my own drawer. I didn't have my closet. I had a pile, and I had one ratty towel that I stole from Motel 6. And that was it. And so I was looking for my career, got a job at a software store. And I was, you know, didn't have a tech background, so I was teaching myself all this. Because the way I look at tech is somebody invents it, and everybody else is tied for second place in the ability to learn it. And if I work harder and faster to really dive in, even if it means reading the manual, you know, just diving in, then I can get a head start.
How old were you during
I was 24. And so sleeping on the floor, working in a software company, you know, learning, getting better at what I was doing. And then one day, because I was dying to get out of that rat hole that I lived in, I had a chance to go out and close a sale that would have got me a $1,500 commission. And so I went to my boss, his name is Michael Humecki, and I said, boss, one of my responsibilities was to sweep the floor, wipe down the windows, and open the door to open the store. I got the sale. You got to let me close the sale. He goes, no, you got to be in there to open the store. And I'm like, Michael, no. So I made the executive decision to go out, pick up the check, thinking if I hand this guy a $15,000 check, of course he's going to change his mind. Fired me on the spot. And so here I was, living in a shithole, excuse my French, you know, just this ratty place with a Motel 6 towel, sorry, Motel 6, and really didn't know how I was going to get out. But I decided, okay, I'm a lousy employee. I went to one of the companies that I'd been talking to, Architectural Lighting, and I said, look, I need $500 to be able to buy the software you want, and I promise you that even if it doesn't work, I will wash your car, you know, I will walk your dog, I don't care what it is, I will do whatever it takes to make it up to you. And they gave me the $500, and that allowed me to create Micro Solutions. And, you know, 6 months later, I was out of the rat hole, and my company turned into a real company, and that's the one I sold for $6 million when I was 29, 30 years old.
I was at the gym yesterday, and a woman drove by me in a wheelchair at the gym. I was working out pretty hard, and she wheeled by me, heavy-set lady in a wheelchair. I'll be honest with you, I watched her wheel past me. She inspired me. Do you know what courage it takes to get in your wheelchair and decide, I'm going to go to the gym, right? I'm going to go to the gym. She's heavy-set, awkward. That inspired me far more than the jacked-up dude doing 60-pound curls. I mean, that's inspiring, but you see that. A woman in a wheelchair at a gym with her 2-pound dumbbells because her legs don't work, but she went in there anyway. And you know how insecure she was about going in there. She's the only person in a wheelchair. She doesn't know what she's going to see, how people are going to react to her. She's not in shape. She doesn't have her full makeup on and her little, you know, halter top like the other girls in there. And she's right in there. She was right in there working out right next to them, right? I couldn't take my eyes off her. And I ended up telling her that she was leaving. I left what I was doing. I walked over. I said, I just want you to know something. You're inspiring me. This is wonderful. And her face just lit up because you know how sad how insecure she was about being in there. Most inspiring person is the one overcoming the fear of doing something, not the person who's excellent at it.
When you're in the lab going and crafting the music, is this somebody that you think about from your past that you're like, you know what? For every time such and such gave me a wedgie, or for every time that girl like fronted on me, I do this for that. You know, I do this for that.
Nah, it's more the influential people that I know. I don't really think about the people that did negative things to me. I think about the individuals like Wayne, like Ross, like Ye, like the guys that I know. You know, if I take tonight off, I know that one of them is probably in the studio crafting something magical. You know, so I should probably stay a little longer. I should probably not go to the club. I should just, you know, work because I know that there's somebody else working if I decide to go play. You know what I'm saying? So I just use like individuals, you know, and especially like probably one of the most influential people like in that regard obviously is Wayne, but you know as well Jay is one of those guys too. That's one guy like you can guarantee if he's going in there and rapping, it's gonna be something great. So I just use people, you know, I use positive inspiration as opposed to like they're like, oh man, that guy still owes me. Like, nah, I don't, you know, it's all good, man. I'm in a great positive headspace right now. I don't want to give anybody no problems. I don't want no problems. I just want people to like appreciate this music.
And I know you've heard this, but my question is, how much do you do it? And that is visualization. And we call it highly engaged visualization. Visualization where you're seeing yourself doing something and you're emotively there. You're literally closing your eyes and meditating on the experience. You're seeing it, feeling it, sensing it, and it's not the kind of visualization you've probably been taught to do, which is just all the buoyant victory, everything's great, victory, hey, everything's awesome, perfect. It's the visualization where you also imagine, see, and feel the struggle on purpose. Let me give you an example. Lots of people, when they're new to performance training and haven't had a lot of experience, they would say, oh, well, if you're gonna run a marathon, imagine yourself crossing that finish line. Your arms up in victory, everything is great. You cross that finish line, there's your family, and they give you big hugs, and you feel great, still vital, energized, ready to kick some butt. You could run another 20 miles. You're the strongest, most powerful you ever. And I'm like, ooh, wow, that's just a person who hasn't done a lot of training or actual high-performance coaching in their life. Because the better thing to imagine is what happens at mile 13. To imagine yourself running strong, but also seeing and sensing and feeling yourself at mile 13 when that decision point comes to want to quit. That's where I want you to also enter the scene and visualize, seeing yourself struggle, like seeing the perspiration, seeing the heartache, seeing the hurt, the pain, that like, I can't run anymore, dude. Seeing yourself make a decision at that point to be resilient, to keep at it, to see the charge come back on your face. To see yourself working through the struggle is the most important visualization you can do. What would you say to yourself when it sucks? Not just see yourself validated. It's about, look, the real truth of achieving any dream is that struggle, that effort, that push. And I know you know this. So my question is, when is the last time you just gave yourself a few moments free away from, playing on the phone, free away from the internet, to just sit down by yourself to visualize and daydream about your dreams, about the activities involved in that, about how you would struggle through, about what it would feel like to be victorious. All of it, the whole thing, the messy part, the ugly part. What would you say to yourself when it gets hard? That's what you need to do. To truly actualize a dream, we got to begin with seeing it and sensing it, the good, the bad, the easy, the difficult, and the victory.
Shaq's future is certain. The big shift in the balance of power in the NBA as the league's most dominant player is headed back east, the newest member of the Miami Heat.
Remember this, I'm going to bring a championship to Miami, I promise.
After we split apart, were you trying to get more championships than me?
Oh, absolutely.
You were?
Absolutely. And I knew you were going to get one. Because of the energy, going into Miami and D-Wade and everything that was there, I knew you were going to get that one. So I knew I had to get at least 2 or 3.
And the Miami Heat are champions of the basketball world!
I wanted you to get that, because I needed that. I wanted that. Like, I wanted people to say, See, this is what they're missing here. This is what they gave up for, right? Kobe should have been the one to go. Now he's in Miami. I needed that. I wanted that. I wanted everybody to hate me. I wanted to fuel off of that and just come back with so much anger and so much vengeance. So I wanted that. So when you won, right after you won, I went out to the track and I ran. And I did my conditioning. I did my drills. I woke up the next morning. I hit my weights. I did my 1,000 shots. I did everything humanly possible to get myself ready. But I needed it. I was like, all right, yeah, good. I needed it too.
All of the influences come out everywhere. I mean, you get influences from everything. You get inspiration from, like, I could literally, like, look at this bag and be like, look at how the zipper is, and look at how, like, the shapes go like this, and how the colors change, and how the belt buckles, like, you know, the way that the belt buckles, or like the way that it clips, or the way that it tugs, and whatever. You can get any inspiration from anything, to write a song, to make a shirt, to, like, come up with a video, you know, like, it just comes out of everything you can look at. You know, you can get creative and inspired by anything, really. So I think I'm definitely always doing that, I'd say, and, like, letting it out in songwriting and singing, and the way that I perform, and the way that I, you know, act and stuff like that.
What inspires me, more and more real life inspires me, but what inspired me to begin with was just, as so many of you are, just a huge film fan. And the films of, I would say, primarily Ridley Scott. You know, Blade Runner was an enormous influence on me, and I carry that into every film I make somehow. Stanley Kubrick, Terrence Malick, Nicholas Rowe, just the extraordinary work of the body of great directors, I think, primarily. And I know that almost anybody who's sat here today will have talked about seeing Star Wars for the first time, because for my generation that truly was a watershed moment, and something that fed my initial enthusiasm for making films, and it's stuck with me. But I think that as I get older, and as I've had the opportunity to make more films, which I feel very grateful for, more and more I find that real life and my life inspires me more, and I try and work that more into the material I'm working on.
I could find the inspiration from like if I hear a really good house track, for instance, I can be like, oh, this would be cool, but you could do it like this instead, you know what I mean? So you get, like, inspiration, but then again you get inspiration from all types of music, really. I mean, you can listen to an old Ray Charles track and get really inspired by like just a certain rhythm or whatever, you know, and then try to make something out of that and try to make it into your own thing and stuff.
Most of my rhythmic growth is evolutionary, so that what I've worked on grows into something else, But there have been the odd time that I would call epiphanies like that. And there's a rhythm that I used a lot in the late 80s or so, Nigerian music, West African music, with slightly displaced accents in it. And I heard that, I was in a village in Togo in West Africa.
On your 10-speed? I
was traveling by bicycle that time.
Okay.
And I heard this rhythm echoing across the valley. And it was just two drummers with hand drums playing it. And it engraved itself on my mind and became a huge influence on me rhythmically after that, because I'd been listening to King Sunny Ade, was a pioneer of Nigerian pop music, and a certain rhythmic accent syncopations that it was based on, that I was very influenced by at the time. And then this other rhythm that I heard that time in Togo was from that same heart. And the music that I heard, it lodges itself in my brain. It engraves itself in there. And then that becomes something special. And those are rare, I think, when you're suddenly hit by something that's that strong. Reggae, the first time reggae music really got into my soul, and I felt that upbeat, downbeat tension. I'll never forget, it was Bob Marley's song, Natural Mystic.
Yeah.
Just sitting in a car and hearing that song, and I got it. You know, I got what reggae was all about, where I'd heard it before but hadn't got it.
I'm inspired by, life and all sorts of things. You can say something right now and it would inspire me to write a song or something to happen. Most kings just happen to be inspired by Basquiat drawing, the drawing, and he had most young kings get their head cut off on the bottom. And I looked at that and I was like, it's powerful. Just the statement in itself, lends itself for a song. The song starts inspired by Basquiat. My chariot's on fire. Everybody took shots, hit my body up, I'm tired. And then it's this, they build me up to break me down, to build me up again. They like, Hov, we need you back so we could kill your ass again. You know, it's like this thing, this love, hate thing that the world has with success, period.
I'm my own artist, I have my own vision. I suppose that there's one interpretation of the female to sing a love song and look pretty and just, you know, I guess do what everyone thinks you should do, but it's just not what inspires me. And I'm inspired not just by, you know, what I see in terms of the future of music or tech or fashion. I see also my fans, and I think about what they want to experience, and they love to feel out of touch with reality for a moment. So it might feel shocking maybe, but I really think it's just this sort of surreal fantasy that I take pleasure in creating for you.
Well, we all know about your love for Cus D'Amato. How much of him is in you when you're doing this?
I don't know. I'm just not him. Maybe if I continue to do this for another 20 years or so, I may be somewhere in there close to his level of protection of his fighters. But as of now, no, it's not there yet. I'm just not as seasoned experience as Mr. D'Amato was.
You speak of him in the present tense. He's very much with you at all times?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Would you have him as one of the most special people in your life?
Absolutely. No one could inspire me as much as he did. You know, if I was discouraged, I say, you know, because sometimes I'm sure in your field, you say, well, really, things may have got difficult, something may happen in your life. I don't want to do this no more. We all go through that. I don't want to do this no more. And he would inspire me to say, hey, this is the route to go. He would inspire me to want to do. Many times I quit boxing. Before I even became a professional boxer, as an amateur, I quit. I didn't want to do it. And he gave me the inspiration and the reason why I should be doing this.
Who have you seen as an inspirational figure?
Well, I'm sure many people. Probably in an early stage, when I was growing up, I would say my mother was my inspiration because she didn't go to school to study very much. She was a 4th grade, 5th grade probably. That's all about education she had. But a very unique character, very open, very helping person. So she always inspired me on that, whatever she did. The other one inspiration I get from the people that I work with, all these women that work in the village, how hard their life is and how they work so hard to make a little difference in their life, to make sure their children don't have to go through the misery that she has gone through. That's the only thing she does. And she's so committed. Given this tiny money she gets in her hand, she tries to get the best mileage out of this money. When she received this first money, when we gave her loan from Grameen Bank, as I said, the initial